Hi, welcome to the State of Our Workforce. Where are we now? Where we explore issues at the forefront of workforce development. I'm Amanda Cage, CEO of the National Fund for Workforce Solutions. This month is a little different because we're going to be talking about our upcoming National Fund convening, Shift the Future of Workforce. Today I'm sitting down with our network director, Hollie Marston. Hello, Hollie.
Hello, Amanda. Happy to be here.
So next week we are hosting a party in Minneapolis. What are you most excited about?
Well, aside from just being in person with other people, I'm really looking forward to that. There's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. We have a plenary specifically that I'm really looking forward to. It's on occupational segregation. And the reason I am so excited about that particular conversation is because we asked our network, what is the conversation you all want to be having? And that was the topic they really landed on as something that we need to be talking more about in the workforce development field. So Ann Price, who's president of the Insight Center, will be leading the entire group of us through a conversation about occupational segregation and what the key drivers are for occupational segregation. So I just think it's such an important topic for us to be exploring. I think the other thing I really appreciate about this convening, I had attended this convening as a participant back in 2019. And what I love about it is that it brings together a whole cross section of the workforce development field, right? That we've got funders in the room, we've got employers in the room, we've got workforce practitioners in the room and researchers. It's a great space to come together to explore the pressing issues of our time and to really inspire each other to think differently and act differently.
Yeah, I'm really excited as well. And part of that for me is that we're actually celebrating our 15th anniversary this year, the National Fund. We started back in 2007 with just 6 collaboratives, and today we have over 30 communities in 26 states. And we continue to work on the issues that matter, right? Promoting workers to secure jobs, advocating for systems reform, addressing racial inequities. And we all understand that this work is really locally driven. So it's amazing to me that we get to have this birthday party of this group of people who've been doing this work for such a long time with those actors in the room. The other thing I'm really excited about is our Frontline Forward honorees. The last 2 years have been really, really hard, as everybody knows. But there are some employers who just rose to the occasion that continue to protect and support their workers under such extraordinary circumstances. And I'm so excited that we get to honor these employers. And they come from all different industries, all different shapes and sizes, but I want to acknowledge them. And I'm going to just name them in this room because I'm so excited about them. DPR Construction, Connie's Chicken and Waffles, Carol Robertson Center, which is a childcare center, really struggled during the pandemic. Webco Plastics, and the Dana-Farber Institute and Brigham and Women's Health.
And we are having all of those celebrations, right? And digging into some really thorny issues for our time, right? I talked about occupational segregation. That's going to be like the plenary that kind of kicks us off in our conversations. But we're also going to be exploring trauma and toxic stress and how that is impacting our workforce and us collectively. And we'll have other, right? There's another plenary too that I think you're equally excited about.
Yeah, so we're doing a plenary on centering worker voice, and talk about topical issues. We just see it everywhere, right? From sort of the Great Resignation and the Great Reshuffling, or whatever you want to call it, to major organizing campaigns. We just see that workers are exercising their voice in ways that they haven't in the past, and excited as people who care about frontline workers, really excited about the possibility to use this to really improve the working conditions for workers. And so we have folks on stage talking about how they center worker voice, what's hard about it, what makes it, what changes when you really center worker voice in the workplace, and how we can all encourage that in the work that we do.
And I mean, I look at the content that we've put together in partnership with a whole host of other folks, and I'm really proud of the
Mhm.
conversations that we're able to spark. And I'm doubly proud of the fact that it's not just going to be us sit in a room talking, that a lot of our workshops are anchored and centered in this idea of what action can we take. So the people, our participants, will be walking away with practical resources that they can bring back to their industries, their communities, to really make some meaningful shifts happen in their communities around their workforce.
And for me, finally, I'm so excited to be in Minneapolis and to have our keynote speaker, Tawana Black, who will welcome us to her city. She truly is a hometown hero who has led the fight for economic inclusion in Minneapolis and all through the country. And I think it's so important to have her voice really kick us off, really lead in the conversation, because we at the National Fund, we know that we are nationally powered but locally driven, and we just appreciate her for having us in her home. So we're very excited. It's next week, and Hollie, I just want to thank you for joining me today to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing next week. And to those of you out there, join us next month for our State of the Workforce. See you in Minneapolis.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.